A very warm good morning to all of you. Dear students, once again I would like to welcome all of you to a new session of the Civics class. Today we are going to continue with the same chapter, chapter number 2, the President and the Vice President, part 3. Before we move to the next part of the chapter, I would like to ask you a question. Do you remember what we were discussing in the last class? In the last class, first of all, we were discussing about reason for indirect election. We were discussing about the method of election of our president. Especially we have seen the president of our country is being elected indirectly. And what were the main reasons behind it? We were discussing in the last class. Secondly, we were discussing about term of office, which means how many years the president of our country can decorate his office. And finally, we were discussing about procedure for impeachment of the president. Suppose if we want to disqualify our president, what is the procedure behind it? So these were the three main points which we were discussing in the last class. Today we are going to begin with a new point, that's about the powers of the President of India. So what were the different powers vested in the hands of our President? First of all, we are going to discuss about the executive powers. Basically, our President is having four main executive powers. First of all, he is the head of the Union administration, which means all executive orders are issued in his name. Like, let's take an example. If our country wants to make a new law, the president has to sign it. So all the executive orders are issued in his name. So secondly, all the union officials are his subordinates. There are a number of different officials who are working under the president. So those who are working under the union government or the central government, all those officials are his subordinates. Second executive power is appointment of officials of the states. He is the man behind the appointment of all officials of the different states. Appointments to key posts to run the government's administration. Both the central and the state government are being supported by a number of government officers. All those major posts or all those major appointments are being done by the president. So that's what is meant by appointment of officials of the states. And the third one, he appoints certain important posts like the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, which means after the general election, one party will be getting majority in the election. And the president approach the particular leader of the majority party and ask him to form the government. Suppose just imagine one particular political party has got the majority in the general election, either BJP or Congress, whatever the party it is. So the president will call the leader of the majority party or the majority group and will ask him to form the government. So that's why we are saying that the Prime Minister is being appointed by the president. And again, according to the advice of the Prime Minister, the President will appoint number of Council of Ministers. Then again, the Chief Justice and the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. We know that Supreme Court is the highest court in our country, or it is also being known as the Court of Courts, the head of different courts or the head of the judicial system of our country. It is the Supreme Court. And the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is being appointed by the President. And again, in every state there are high courts, and the Chief Justice of the high courts are being directly appointed by the President. So that is the second appointment or the major appointment done by the President. First of all, the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Secondly, the Chief Justice and the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. And the third one, the governors of the states. As I have already told you, governor is the representative of the president. So the governors of the states are being appointed by the president. Then again, the lieutenant governors and the chief commissioners of the union territories. The head of the armed forces, they are being known as the lieutenant governors, and the chief high commissioners, the head of the different departments which are directly functioning under the president. So they are being appointed by the president. One another major authority in India, that is Attorney General, he is being appointed by the president. It's a major post, it's a very important position in our country, and he is being appointed by the president. And next one, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Comptroller means the chief accountant, and he is the chief accountant of our country, and Auditor General, who is managing other businesses of our country. It is being appointed by the president. Again, the chairman and members of the Union Public Service Commission. We know the importance of Public Service Commission. In short, we call it like PSC, Public Service Commission, who are conducting number of exams to different posts in the center as well as the states. So Union Public Service Commission, what is the responsibility of the Union Public Service Commission? Like IAS, IPS examinations, civil service examinations, and major exams are being conducted by the Public Service Commission to find out eligible candidates for ruling our nation. And the chairman and the members of this Union Public Service Commission is being appointed by the president. And again, the chairman and members of the Planning Commission. We know the importance of Planning Commission. If our country has achieved such a growth in this 21st century, it is just because of the effective and the hard work of the Planning Commission. So the chairman and members of the Planning Commission is being appointed directly by the president. Again, the chairman and members of the Economic Commission, whenever appointed, in course of time, number of economic commissions have got appointed by the president. So if there is an economic commission is being appointed to study about the welfare and economic growth of our country, the chairman and members of that economic commission will be appointed by the president. Now the third point says that control over state governments. The president has got a very special power over the state governments, which means the union government may give necessary directions to a state. The central government will be having special powers over the state government. During the president's rule, the control of the union government over state is complete. What is meant by president's rules? You might have heard about number of emergencies, national emergency. So when the president declares a national emergency, then the control over the different number of states fully vested with this central government or the union government. So if the president is declaring a national emergency, control of the union government over state is complete. So the state government will be directly ruled by the union government. And the fourth point says that union territories and border areas. We know that India is having 7 different union territories. What is the speciality of those union territories? It is governed directly by the center. So union territories and border areas, the administration of the union territories and the border areas is the responsibility of the president. So the areas or the borders which are sharing with the other countries and the union territories, the responsibilities of all these regions are directly coming under the president. So dear students, these are the points which I want to share with you today, and we are going to wind up today's class, and I hope that you have got a very clear picture about the points which we were discussing in today's class. And in the next class we will be continuing with the next topic, that is legislative powers of the president, and I hope that you have got a very clear picture about it. And we are winding up today's class here, and still we meet in the next class with a new topic. I would like to sign off. Thank you.